Hello, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today is Monday, the 4th of January, and I'm just starting to feel like kind of Christmas is over, the new year is starting, and I'm feeling raring to go. I'm just up here in my patio garden area, and I don't think I've been up here since Boxing Day, where I sowed my onions and leeks. So I thought I'd kind of venture out today and have a look in my little cold frames that I've got, because I've got quite a lot going on in there, and I haven't looked at it for ages, and I'm just looking now, and one of the doors is open and we've had a couple of frosts, so I don't know what it's going to look like in there, but I thought I'd just bring you along and we can have a look. Also, before we get into looking inside the little cold frames, I just want to say, if you are a new subscriber, because I seem to have had loads recently, I just want to say a massive thank you for coming over to my channel and hitting that subscribe button. If you're not familiar with my channel and you've not watched many of my previous videos, then I just want to quickly let you know that I've got two vegetable allotments that I grow on. I have an old Victorian house that needs quite a lot of work doing to it, but I've got a large front garden, I've got a terraced back garden where there's a patio area here, but I've also got half an acre of woodland, so I've got so much going on at the moment. But everything's a bit of a mess, so I'm not going to show you all of that, but that will come over time, because this is kind of the first year now that I've actually got time and I'm able to start implementing some of these really big plans. But anyway, you'll find that out as we go along, and now we can go and have a look in the cold frames. So as I said, one of the doors was open, and I've just had a quick look now, and there's quite a lot of water in one of the drip trays. So we'll get a little bit closer and we'll have a look at how things are doing in there. I've also got broad beans in this one here, and I don't actually think they've been watered at all since I put them in. So it could be a little bit of a mess in there. Let's go and have a look. Quick look there, everything's looking pretty promising there, so I'm really pleased. But before I show you anything in there, I just want to quickly show you the onions and the leeks that I sowed on Boxing Day. So far, I don't know how many days ago that was, maybe 8 or 9 days ago. These have been just kept inside, ready, like kept inside where it's warm, so they have a nice little bit of heat in there to germinate. I think with an onion seed, they need around 8 degrees centigrade to germinate. So what I usually do is bring them in until I start seeing them germinating, and then I put them out in the propagator. But I did have a little look earlier. I just wanted to show you that I've got some germinating. They've just germinated there, and that's the first lot out of all of the 5 trays that I've got. And these are the Elsa Craigs, so none of the leeks have germinated yet. And to be honest, I don't know if that's because they are old seeds or something. I don't know. I didn't really look at it, to be honest, when I put them in, but there's still loads of time. Quite a few people messaged me when I put that Boxing Day video up and said, oh my goodness, I didn't realise that it was time to sow the onions and stuff like that. It's really, really early still, so don't worry. This was just something that I really wanted to do because I've heard of the tradition of sowing onions on Boxing Day, and I've never ever managed to do that, so I just went and did it. So honestly, do not panic, there is still plenty of time. And also with onions, you can buy onion sets that are only just coming into the shops now, so don't worry about it at all. So inside this cold frame here, I've got a mixture of flower seeds and onions that I sowed a little while ago. The flower seeds got sown in autumn, I think it was late August, and the onions were maybe the 8th of December or something like that. And I'm so pleased with this. These are the red barren onions that I sowed, and I got these seeds in my advent calendar actually, which was pretty cool, and they have germinated so well, and they're doing so well as well. They're a little bit pale looking, but that should be fine once they get established. But yes, that is the red barrens. When I've grown red barren in the past, I've always got them as onion sets, and when you grow them as onion sets, they always seem to bolt really quickly. And the next lot of onions I've got in here are these ones, which are Elsa Craig. Now, you can see they're much kind of smaller than the red barren ones, and these took a lot longer to germinate, but they seem to have germinated pretty well. And there is meant to be 400 seeds in here, and I don't quite think there's 400 onions in there, but still pretty good. and then very quickly, because I'm sure you're probably not so interested in the flowers, but these here are doing really well, and these are the hollyhocks that I sowed. I've never grown hollyhocks from seed before, but I've got 1 or 2 around the garden that I were bought in as plug plants, but they're doing pretty well, and they're looking very healthy considering they've just been in quite a dark little greenhouse. And here we have my little lupins. I absolutely love lupins. I seem to have been really lucky with a couple that I grew from seed in my allotment. They got absolutely huge this year, so they are all doing really well as well. And I don't really think I've watered them that much, so I'm so pleased that they're doing well. Apart from that, I've got some campanula, and there is something else. Oh, some aquilesias that I managed to germinate, because they're terrible for germination. They grow really well, like in the middle of, you know, a crack in your patio or something, but they're really hard to germinate, I found. But they're doing well as well. That's the aquilesias, so yeah, really pleased with that. And I actually did a video on those when I sowed them, so I'll put that above in the cards now if you're interested in having a look at that. I find that growing them in kind of the August time means that you don't really have to look after the seedlings very much over the winter period, because they don't dry out, but then it means they're all out of the way and in the ground by the time you want to start using your cold frames or your greenhouses for growing your vegetables and starting them off. In this little cold frame here, at the very top, I've got lots of currant bush cuttings, and really I should probably have those right down at the bottom because they don't need much light while they're rooting. And then underneath I've got my broad beans. These are aqualesia, and I put these in and I've completely forgotten about them, and as you can see, they are so dry and they're actually looking a little bit wilted. So I had planned with these that they were going to germinate in these tiny little trays there, and then once they were germinated, they were going to go straight in at the allotment, but as you can see, that hasn't happened. So I'm going to leave these out and give them a little water in a minute. And I've also got another lot here, but you can see there at the very top, hang on a second, you can see there, that is where they've been touched by the frost. So that is a burn from frost. So maybe right at the very back of you know, the greenhouse, or where they've been kind of like searching for the light, it's been touching the plastic and it's got burnt, unfortunately. So these definitely need a water, and I think they need to go in the ground really quickly. So with the blackcurrants, in our family, we absolutely love blackcurrant jam. It's like our favourite thing. I've got 2 blackcurrant bushes already on my allotment, but if I could have more, that would be absolutely amazing. So what I did was take a load of cuttings. I think I've got about 4 or 5 in each, and I'm very excited to say that they have germinated. So, well, they've not germinated, they've rooted. So I'm so pleased with that. Eventually, well, maybe when it gets a little bit warmer, I will pop these up individually and then I'll put them down at my allotment. So I'm so pleased with that. The rest of the things here that you can see in the allotment, it's not in the allotment, sorry, in the cold frame, are some onions and garlic. I kind of had some left over and I didn't really know what to do with it, so I just chucked them in here. But I think I will either give these away to people at my allotment, or I might offer them free on the local Facebook selling page or something like that. I almost forgot as well, my batten, which are a type of Welsh onion, which are here, they germinated the fastest out of the Red Barons and the Elster Craigs, and they are here. They're a type of like Welsh onion, spring onion, and I got those ones from the Heritage Seed Library. And as you can see, they've germinated really quickly, but they're right at the bottom of this little greenhouse, so I should probably turn it round so they're right at the top here, so they can get the most amount of light. So that's also really exciting. So there you go, that is what I've got growing in my cold frames in January, and I'm quite pleased with how things are looking. I hope this video hasn't been too boring for you though, but personally I quite like having a nose in other people's cold frames to see what they're growing at this time of year too. But if you haven't sowed a single seed, do not worry, and don't think that you have to like rush out and get anything at all, because it's still so early. I've never successfully grown onions from seed in my life. I've germinated them and I've got them to become seedlings, but I've never actually harvested a big fat onion that I've grown from seed. So hopefully this will be the year for it. But at the moment, I'm only using natural light, so they might get really leggy. Who knows? It's always kind of like a learning thing with gardening, however many years you've been gardening for. But anyway, if this is the first time you're watching one of my videos, I really hope you've enjoyed it, and please do hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to be notified of all of my latest videos. As usual, YouTube have some videos up on the screen now that they think you'll like, so please go ahead and watch those. All of the videos that I've talked about in the video as well, I will put a link above in the cards for you as well. But I will catch up with you in the next episode. Bye!